Mr. Smooth's class, and in Mr. Smooth's class today we'll be looking at the vagina. What about the vagina we'll be looking at? I have observed that there are so many women who have some form of infections or some form of problems with their vagina, and they go around inserting all sorts of things under them to make their place tight, to make the place smell good, and also to make their husbands enjoy them. But most of the things that they try inserting are not really good for their health. Some women give birth, and then after they have given birth, they don't manage their vagina well. The place becomes loose, and then they're having sex with their husbands, and the husbands feel nothing. Some also don't have sex at all, but they just leave the vaginas, and the vagina go rotting. When I say rotting, I mean the vagina muscle in there goes weak, and would want to know why those things happen. So we'll start the class, and normally I am going to look at the vagina on my PowerPoint presentation when the woman is lying down. So when a woman is lying down, this is how the vagina looks like. You'll see it from the PowerPoint presentation. This is how the vagina looks like. Now, you can see from here, you have the clitoris. You can see my red arrow moving. From here, you have the clitoris. And then the clitoris is this big. All this pink part you see in here is the clitoris. Now, this dark area you have here is a vaginal opening. And then this blue you have here is the vaginal canal, which leads all the way to the uterus. And then you have here the urinary bladder. And then on the top of the urinary bladder, you have the urethral sponge, which is what we call the G-spot. Okay, now I am showing you this for you to understand that when the woman is lying down, then the vagina has been turned, the vagina is also lying down. But when the woman is standing, this is what you see. You can see the uterus is up. So when the woman is standing, the vagina is facing down. It's facing downwards. It's pointing downwards. So you have the rectum, which is over here. You have the urinary bladder. You have the pubic bone. You have the vagina, which is a little down there, the passage. And this is the vaginal canal. The reason why I actually showed you this picture is this muscle you have here, the pelvic floor muscle. The pelvic floor muscle, right? Probococcygeal muscle, or the PC muscle, probococcygeal muscle. And this is the probococcygeal muscle. And this is the muscle that when you strengthen can make you not lose feces, can make your vagina tight, and can also make you not have urinary incontinence.
That's the PC muscle.
The PC muscle.
Okay.
Once the PC muscles are strong, you are not going to have this problem. And then on the other side, you are having a prolapse, a picture of what they call the uterus entering into the vagina. Let me just describe a little bit of the external genitalia of the woman, and then we have the labia. The labia is the skin around the vagina. There are two types. There's the majora and the minora. The majora is the outside, and if you are a student of the adults class, I told you that the majora is just like the thickness of the woman's lips. I told you that, if you remember.
Yes.
And then we have the minora. The minora is the inside, that is the smaller lip. Usually it doesn't grow hair, it's hairless. So I wrote it here that one is hairless, the one inside. The majora can have hair on it, but the minora is normally without hair. And then also you look at the vestibule. The vestibule of the vagina is that whole opening from the clitoris all the way down, that whole opening. So this red line I am drawing here, this whole area is a vaginal vestibule. Okay, it's created around the opening of the vagina. We all know about the clitoris. The clitoris is made up of 8,000 nerves, making it the most sensitive part for most women. And the clitoris and the man's gland penis, or the tip of the penis, are virtually of the same number of nerves, 8,000 nerves. But because men have more testosterone, the testosterone sort of dampens almost half of the sensitivity of the clitoris, of the penis. So if a man had 8,000 nerves at the tip of the penis, just as women have 8,000 nerves at the clitoris, I'm sure almost all men will be having premature ejaculations, because even currently we have at least 4,000 active, and most men are having premature ejaculation. So if it were as much as 8,000, I'm sure almost every man will be ejaculating like nobody's business. All right, so that is just about it. And then we also have the urethra. The urethra is where the urine comes from. That little hole is called the urethra meatus. We're going to have in-depth teachings on the anatomy of the woman, but for the reason for which I am doing this study today is to show you something that happens when you don't train the vagina, or when you don't train the vagina well. Now, you are seeing a picture here. This is a cross section of the vagina. A cross section of the vagina. I'm going to show you the whole vagina plus the vagina standing plus the, what do you call it, uterus and fallopian tubes and the ovaries, how it looks like. It is a human being's, what do you call it, it's not a drawing, this is a cross section of a human being, his, what do you call it, vagina turned like, standing. When a woman is standing, this is the way it looks like. And you can see an arrow pointing inside the vaginal wall. What you see inside here, that round, is a flattened uterus. This is a dead body, so the uterus is flattened. Normally it is not flat, it pops up. And then you have the os, where the sperm, that little hole you see in here is where the sperm passes inside into the fallopian, into the uterus, into the fallopian tube, and then to the ovaries where fertilization takes place. Now these ramps you are seeing here, is supposed to look like what I have here on my right, which is the vaginal rugae. It is called the vaginal rugae. These are like brushes. These are like brushes inside the vagina. It's like
really?
Brushes. Yes.
Inside the vagina.
Yes. This is the way it looks like. So the vaginal rugae are the bones or the pallets or the surface of the vagina that functions. That helps this one helps the vagina to stretch. It gives the vagina its elasticity, and then it allows it to return to its original state. But what happens is women insert all sorts of things. Women put in all sorts of things, and then they get the vaginal rugae rumpling, and then they becomes bumps, they become ripples. Instead of they becoming flower-like like this, they become rumples. So when this happens, when the vaginal muscle becomes flattened, when the woman has sex, she doesn't feel anything. Okay. And when a man has sex with her, the man will have to struggle before the man gets an ejaculation, because you are in there and then you're asking yourself whether you are in or you are out. Because
so basically we are telling the ladies to stop inserting
there are certain materials. You see, there are certain things like I think I will play a video where a woman was telling me she was told she had whites, and then she should insert a garlic, and then she inserted the garlic, and then the pain she went through inserting garlic. But it is all over on YouTube. Insert garlic and see the wonders it does for you. It will take care of your whites, and there are so many videos on that. But in actual fact, it is very, very painful to insert a garlic inside you. Even if you eat raw garlic in the morning, look at the way it burns your stomach. How much more inserting inside? And that place is not for stew. You don't have to put spices there. You understand me? And then people put all sorts of things. Ginger. They put, even people use alum, and everything they are looking for is to get the place tight. But you know what? When the place is tight, it is not the best. The place should rather be strong. It should be strong and not tight. So now watch this. This is what happens. You have your vaginal rugaes, all right. From the picture you are seeing here, these are the normal vaginal rugae, and this hole you are having here is just the entrance into the vagina. This small hole, this hole, you see where the mouse is moving around? That is the entrance of the vagina. So this is the side and side of the vagina. You see how beautiful it is? And here, when the man enters the vagina like this, the man is not going to enjoy what he is doing, and you are also going to enjoy what you are doing. But once you give birth and there's a stretch, because I told you that sometimes when you have a baby, the baby can the vagina can stretch up to 200%. the vagina can stretch up to 200%. And when that stretch takes place, these nice rugi you are seeing here fold and becomes like that. Becomes, it just joins up like that. So you can see what happens to you when you give birth. Instead of having your rugi like that, it becomes like that. But it doesn't mean that you cannot have, even if you can't have it original like that, you can exercise. There are certain products you can use that can help disentangle all the folds. So here it is the rugi that has folded and binded up into these ramps you are seeing here. So there are some products in town, there are some exercises you can do that can allow these folds or these rugis to disentangle themselves so it becomes free. And one of the simplest exercises you can do is the pelvic floor exercises, which you need to identify the specific muscles. And then if most women know about Kegels, and it's just like squeezing my hand up and down like that. But if you have something in there that you're squeezing on, it makes your exercises more effective. So we are going to show you. I mean, definitely you will contact me. My number is 0244 66 10 11. I'll get you something you can use, in, regaining that elasticity of the vagina, something you can use to allow the rugi to unfold and disentangle itself. Because if it is like that, it becomes a problem. Now, the amazing thing about the vagina that when I saw this, I was amazed. I'm sure you have heard that some people don't like virgins because they say virgins are not good. I am not saying go and disvirgin yourself, but the fact that you are a virgin doesn't mean that your rugi is going to be straight, because once the vagina is not active, the rugi will fold. It will also become ramps if you are not exercising it. So it means that
Papa, let's get this straight. It will not fold the man. You can get it back into the original state.
So when you're original,
at least. Okay, now you are saying that when you are a virgin.
When you are a virgin, that's it. If you don't use the vaginal muscle, they will fold. It's just like I have my arm. I have muscles in my arm. When I'm not using the muscle in my arm, they'll become weak.
Okay.
And when the muscle become weak, they will flat. All the rugi will just flat. They will drop. So you need to have an active vagina, because an inactive vagina.
Virgins should take it easy. We are not saying rush.
I am not saying go and break your virginity. No. If you do so, I am going to fight with you. I'm going to sack you from my class.
Yeah.
I'm not saying go and have sex.
No.
I'm only saying that it is important that you exercise the PC muscles. So when you do not use the muscles in the vagina, they will go flat. And when the vagina is not active, they will go flat. So those who say they are saving themselves for that man, you need to do vaginal exercises to keep yourself in shape. If you don't train the vagina will never become strong. It will become weak. And even when you find that man, the man will not enjoy you. The man will leave you. And then you will say that you kept yourself, sir. Now the man has come and the man too has left you again. It's simply because you left yourself. You allowed your vaginal muscle to go weak. But if you are not having sex, if you are not exercising your vaginal muscle will go weak. And that is something that I will not lie to any young girl or any woman who wants to keep yourself. Keep yourselves. Don't have sex with men you're not married to. That is my principle, and I'll still stand by it. But me and JJ won't. Still exercise the vagina. If you don't know how to do so, my number is 0244 66 10 11. Let's talk. We'll show you exact ways, exact muscles, exact tools, exact ingredients you use to keep that vaginal floor active and strong, not tight, without having sex.
Yeah.
Active and strong and not tight, as people say it, without having sex. So if you don't have an active vagina, you start experiencing vaginal dryness, because the vagina muscles are not going to be smooth, they are going to be dry. The muscles will become loose. When you have sex, you're not going to have orgasms. You would have to watch that. So if you refrain yourself from touching yourself, I'm using the word masturbation here. Here I'm saying that just touch yourself, feel yourself, enjoy yourself. It shouldn't be a habit. When it becomes a habit, that means you don't have self-control. And anyone who doesn't have self-control cannot keep him or herself out of marriage. Let me quickly take the slide off the screen. Now, the other thing too is, when you give birth, this is what happens. Look at the picture I have here of the vagina before birth and the vagina after birth. I'm sure you can see a remarkable change in size.
Yeah.
You can see a remarkable change in size. So if you have given birth and the vagina has, expanded most times about 200%, it will never get back to its original state. So if you have a vagina that has given birth, at least after the first 3 months, you need to start training the vagina, so the muscles in there will become strong and it will then close by itself. So it will close by itself. It's a worrying condition.
It is.
And then when you have vaginal atrophy, it is painful when you're having sex. And then you start feeling
for the lady.
Yes, but for the lady, you start feeling pain. It will burn you, and then you have vaginal incontinence. And then my time is up. We'll pause now, and then we'll activate the phone lines. And let's talk about these beautiful things we have just spoken about. If you have an experience you want to share, we are here with you. We have our first caller on the line. Hello, caller. Your name and where you're calling from?
Okay, my name is Kevin. I'm calling from Newtown.
Okay. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. What about you?
God is in control. Yes, let's hear you. What do you have to say about what we're talking about? Yeah, let's hear you.
Okay, actually, whenever I have sex with my girlfriend, she feels a lot of pain. She says she's not feeling anything, and she's not close to about 20 years. So I'm just wondering, is it that she's not having orgasm, or maybe there have been certain things that is causing that problem?
All right, so my brother, I would prefer you. Probably you have to get married. When you get married, it will be best, and then we can be able to deal with this one, okay? But all the same, you have my contact 0244 66 10 11. Call me for some counseling, and then let's see what we can do about if it is a vaginal atrophy she's facing, or vaginal dryness, or vaginismus. We'll find a way. We need to find what is causing the problem. So once we get it, we'll be able to deal with that particular situation. There are some very good products in town that we can use in solving that problem. So don't worry. What is your name and where you're calling from? Your name is what, Kweku?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, from Kanda. Okay, let's hear you.
So I can stay for like 2 years without having sex. Is it good or bad?
You can stay for 2 years without having sex. You're not married, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that is okay. But normally what happens is, when you are a man and you're not having sex, all you have to do is still exercise the pelvic floor muscles, so that if your pelvic floor muscles are weak, your erections will also be weak. But what happens to you is, once the body stores enough sperm in the epididymis, you have a wet dream, and once in a while you throw out sperm. It is not spiritual marriage. Why? It is normal, because once the body has enough sperm stored in the epididymis, it will just find a way of throwing it out, so the body can create new sperm. So don't worry at all. Keep yourself, but just exercise your pelvic floor muscles, so that your fellas will not become weak the time you decide to get married. Okay, you have another caller on the line. Hello. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Nadi. I'm calling from Machaiko.
Oh, you say you're called Nadia?
Ladi.
Ladin?
Yes.
Okay, Ladin. Okay, let's hear you.
I have a problem on my vagina. The moment I have a severe white.
Severe white?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm facing. I have taken a lot of.
I hear that you have taken whatever it is still there.
Yes, it's not working.
Call me tomorrow. Call me tomorrow. Take my number 0244 66 10 11. Call me tomorrow. Let's talk. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Call me tomorrow. Let's talk. All right. So, like I'm saying, there are so many concoctions in town that people use in treating these things, and the worst part of it is they go to the hospitals and they are given some antibiotics.
Yeah.
And what happens is the antibiotics also kills the bacteria, all the healthy bacteria inside the private part, and it makes the situation a little worse, because then once the healthy bacteria inside the vagina has been killed by the antibacteria, you are still opening yourself for more infections. So you treat with antibacteria, antibiotics, and then you end up getting worse situations, especially when the environment that you are living in is exposed to such infections. It makes it very, very difficult for women. All right, we have a caller on the line. Hello, caller. Yeah, the phone line is 050 143 820. 050 143 820. I know the lines are jammed. Around this time, the line becomes very, very jammed.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Samuel, and I'm calling from Kaswa.
Beautiful. Casland.
Casland.
Yeah, Kaswa.
Yes. Let's hear you.
Well, my girlfriend is having some issues with her vagina. I mean, the inside, whenever we are having sex, she says the vagina pains her all the time, and I'm trying to find out what the problem is.
Alright, so like I told you, these are not things we can just listen to what you have said and be able to give you solutions. You get that? So what we'll do is you call me tomorrow, because if your girlfriend has issues like that, probably whites, and you're also sleeping with her without protection, you may also get infected. So even when she treats, you reinfect her. So call me tomorrow. Let's talk. Okay, let's find a solution. If I have to take you to evolution, I'll take you to evolution. Okay, so you call me. Let's talk. Okay.